meditations where Krishna's behavior can be unpredictable and
Okay. We talked about difference between Lord Ram and Krishna. Krishna is unpredictable. Krishna is Tribhanga Lalita. He is Jatil and Kutil kind of. He's crooked. He's not straight. He's like, you can't catch Krishna, you can't predict, you can't understand Krishna. That's Krishna, that's why it's Krishna. Ramachandra is more uniform, You can understand, he follows certain principles, whatever this and that, very strictly. So there's a difference. And every difference has its particular reasons. But why we discussed that? What was the point? Yes?
Would you discuss it that, it does not excite or something more, like we can have our ecstasy? Like it's based on rules and regulation, then we are Krishna is beyond that, he is a Lila Purushottam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's very enlightening to hear about him, to hear his fasting.
Okay, Krishna is a little more exciting because he's unpredictable. Well, it depends. Yeah, everybody has its own bhav, everyone has its own sorrow, so it depends. It depends how we react to different pastimes and of course what attracts us. That's upon our position. Like we all have what we like and what we don't like, no? So naturally something will be attractive, something won't be attractive. So Krishna appears in multifarious forms to attract us to whatever our constitutional position is. Okay, anything else? Last time? Yes.
Lord Vishnu is concerned with the maintenance of the universe, where Krishna is not concerned with the.
Okay, Vishnu maintains, Krishna just plays around. Yeah, that's another difference. Okay. So today it's text 17. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Okay, I touch my feet. Can someone bring a little water? Okay, so text 17. Aishwarya Jnanete Sabam Jagat Mishrita. Aishwarya Shitila. Wait a second, let him bring. Is it Juta or not? Oh. Premenahi Mora Prita. Okay, Aishwarya Jnanete Sabha Jagat Mishrita. Aishwarya Shitila Premenahi Mora Prita. Translation. Lord Krishna thought, all the universe is filled with the conception of my majesty, but love weakened by that sense of majesty does not satisfy me. Oh, that's a very, there's no purport, but this is, again, it's very deep statement. It's a very encapsulated statement with a lot of philosophy, with a lot of philosophical meaning. Yes, I said before, the verse we discussed last time, I said that, Lord desires, he appeared for two reasons. One is, of course, to experience the sweet mellows of the love of God, and then propagate devotional service in the world on the platform of spontaneous attraction. So that is there. So these are all There are internal reasons. Last time we said that one is external, one is internal. What does that mean? Internal meaning, let's say somebody gives you some task. Somebody gives you task. Let's say parents tell you, go and buy something from the store. No? And you go and buy something from the store. That's external. But when you get into the store, then you keep on checking things that you like. That's internal. So you went to the store for two reasons. One is you're searching something that you want, and then another one is you're fulfilling certain tasks that you're supposed to fulfill. No? It's internal and external. So Krishna also, when he comes to this world, he comes with the purpose of fulfilling various reasons. So some of them we said 3 are internal and 3 are external. So one of those might be appearing, like 2 have been mentioned, is now we are discussing internal reasons. Why did Krishna want to appear in this world, propagate devotional service? So that's one of them, propagate devotional service. But it said here on the platform of spontaneous attraction. So that we emphasized many times earlier. Krishna wants to raise our consciousness. He wants to elevate us. He wants to present something that is so rare, something that is so valuable, something that is so treasurable that nobody else had ever presented to us. And that's amazing. That's something that we even can't imagine. How do we qualify for something like this? Like there was one reporter, when Srila Prabhupada came to US, he asked him a question. So what is it? What is it that you're presenting? What is it? What is it so different? What is it so unique about your presentation? You're coming and presenting different kind of religious view. No? There's so many religious view. So then what's so unique about your presentation? Very intelligent question. Very intelligent question. You know, of course, Prabhupada has been asked this question several times. When he was asked in UK, in London, one reporter asked him the same thing, and Prabhupada replied, he said, I have come to give you what you have forgotten. And another time, since Prabhupada is very witty, you know, he has different kinds of answers for different kinds of circumstances. Another time he said, he said to the British, you have taken so much wealth from India, but you forgot the most valuable thing. That's Bhagavad Gita. So I came to present this. Yeah. And then this is in US now. This reporter is asking Srila Prabhupada, what is it so different? There's so many religious processes. There's so many this and that. So what's so unique about this process? And then Srila Prabhupada said this. He said the uniqueness of this process is that message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And this is what we're discussing now. This is the message. This is the reason. These different reasons why Krishna comes, internal reasons especially. Of course, external also, this propagate, Sankirtan Yagya. But then teaching us this platform, how to come to platform of spontaneous attraction. That means how to be, it's just like child, spontaneously attracted towards the parents. No? Just spontaneous attraction. I was seeing one little video clip today. And there was a calf and the mother cow. And there was some person feeding them some papadi. and the calf was there, and the calf usually they're very restless, but the calf was there with the mother, and then it felt safe. It didn't want to go anywhere, didn't want to run this and that. It felt safe. It was just naturally attached to the mother. So that spontaneous attraction, spontaneous dependence, spontaneous affection. What is that spontaneous? Spontaneous means it's just natural. It's just inherent. It's just what we would consider, what we would say, just something kind of normal. It's not artificial. So how to develop that in relationship to Krishna? Because Krishna is the source. Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Krishna is the source of everything. Krishna is Sarva Yonishu Kontaya Hambija Pradapita. He's the father of all living beings. He's the source of everything. He is practically everything to us. But now at this stage, of course, we have no idea about it. We've forgotten that. Completely covered. We are so distracted. We are focused and absorbed and attracted to so many other things which have nothing to do with Krishna. Or at least we think as such. They're all connected to Krishna, but we think there's nothing in connection to Krishna. So that spontaneous attraction, how to revive that, how to develop that. Like we were saying, we're giving this example yesterday about the magnet which is covered by the rust, right? Or maybe some other things, and it doesn't attract the magnetic feelings. So that rust has to be removed in order that attraction is revived. So in the same way, we have to remove these unnecessary coverings of lust, anger, greed, madness, envy, illusion. Then we will feel attraction to Krishna. So that's a spiritual process. So then how to do this? That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to present to us. How to attract, again, natural, revive. It's not a point of establishing something, creating something, building something. No, the point is to revive. That means it's already there. It already exists. It just has to be awakened, revived. So then how to do that? This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to establish. And that's not the only thing. It's not just like we said, this reporter asked and Prabhupada said Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. And what does that mean, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give the most intimate, the most deepest knowledge, the secret. Now, like in Bhagavad Gita, you will find this word Bhuyatamam. The greatest secret, the greatest knowledge, the most confidential. But what is the most confidential? Well, that is when there is some particular intimacy in relationship, no? There's some intimacy in relationship. When somebody comes to your home, what do? You don't immediately take him to your bedroom or something, or some whatever private place. No. There's just, it's a general, some kind of hall or some kind of place that you have, or living room or whatever, I don't know, whatever it might. And then you have certain discussion or whatever it is. So intimacy, it's not so open. You don't disclose it unless you have particular deep relationship with that person. So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to disclose, reveal, and present. What is that deepest intimacy that one can have with the Supreme Personality of Godhead? That is so unique. That's Madhurya Bhakti. That's very, very confidential. But it's the highest of all the ecstasies that one can have in relationship to God. People always, or pretty much, have conception that God is great and God is just like a father. Just like today we were hearing, there was a lecture, Srila Prabhupada said, we approach as a lecture about Srimati Radharani. And Srila Prabhupada was saying that Srimati Radharani should be approached as just like a mother. It's just like a mother. So yes, she is just like a mother, but she's not like a mother. She's like a mother at this particular stage when we are conscious of our body. When we worship Radha and Krishna in the mood, and still have to worship Radha and Krishna in the mood as Lakshmi Narayana. That's the motherly mood, Lakshmi. Approach Radharani as Lakshmi, because we can't approach Radharani as Radharani. Radharani is just a teenage girl practically. She's not a mother. She's not a mother, but we are not in that position to relate to Radharani in such a way. Because we don't have that purity, we don't have that knowledge, we don't have that understanding, we don't have that service attitude. That's why we have to approach Radharani in a more reverential mood until we become qualified, until we become purified. So that intimacy will become that closer, friendlier relationship that will become revealed in the course of time. When we purify, when we attain back that position that we have as our Svarupa, original position in the spiritual world. Then we can relate in a very friendly manner. Then we can relate in a very intimate way. But not yet, not now. That's why that injunction is there, that we should serve then Dada and Krishna in a very reverential mode. But again, generally, what is the mood in the world that people have towards God is just like, okay, God like a father, protector, supplier, that's the mood. That's mostly the mood. So that's what Srila Prabhupada said. Well, what is the most unique contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Well, he presented the mood of that kind of loving intimacy with God. Where does that exist? Of course, there are some conceptions in the Western spiritual thoughts. There are, but they're extremely rare. Of course, you may say even they're rare in India. Yes, they are, but a little more. And again, that's also what is unique contribution, even to Indian so-called religious thought. That intimacy, between the living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's something that's extremely rare, extremely precious. And that's why it has never been done or given, presented like this. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's contribution. So that's something unique. And of course, one has to qualify. And then how to do that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and presented the process. And again, what is so wonderful, he gave such a simple process, which of course we are so fallen, we can't do it that much. What is it? What is the process? Chanting what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Yeah, just chant, dance, and take some prasadam. That's it. Amazing, very simple, but it's not simple. We are so crooked and complicated that we can't do it. The process is so simple, the process is so powerful, but we can't do it. Are we dancing and chanting all day long? No. Are we taking prasadam? Sometimes. Only prasadam? Yeah. So this is unique contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is what Srila Prabhupada said to this reporter, that this is something that is unique. And it is unique. It is unique. Who had presented such kind of teaching? So this is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us this by his personal example. How to perform spontaneous devotional service and revive that spontaneous attraction towards Krishna. So that's why he's known as Mahapadanyaya avatar, the most munificent avatar that has given something that nobody before had ever given us. So that's unique contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and now it says here, Lord Krishna thought all the universe is filled with conception of my majesty. This is what I said. This is the conception. Oh, God is great. Fear the God. God is great, and if you don't obey, He'll smack you down. He'll punish you. He'll send you to hell, burn forever, or whatever. There's so many things like that. So many conceptions or misconceptions. God is great. He is so majestic. Yeah, God is great. He is so majestic. And Prabhupada will also say yes, but people don't know how great He is. That's not He's great, but how great? Well, even that information they don't have, but we do from the Shastra. So that's so what's the problem with that conception of awe and reverence? We know that is categorized as a Shantarasa. There are 5 different rasas, and that's the first one through which one can approach God and have some relationship with God, just appreciating, like from the distance. Like you see Vishnu or Krishna or something, you see from the distance, and then you appreciate some majesty of God, whatever, in whichever form, whichever way, maybe even participate. I mean, seeing the pastime, not participating, but just observing them, seeing, having that opportunity. Oh, it's so wonderful, it's so great. But you don't have any contact, neither you have any participation. Doesn't sound so great, no? Doesn't sound. But some people like that. Some people like to stay at the distance, no? And just appreciate like this. So that's Shantarasa. That's a relationship we call Shantarasa. Awe and reverence. Wow, God is great. Oh, just see, what amazing. What qualities, pastimes, is that? So amazing. God is great. Allahu Akbar, no? Yes. Why not? Yeah, that's what it means, no? God is great. Yeah, God is great. So that God is great, yes. And then the next relationship one can have, it's a little closer, that it's dasya. Then you approach, and then you start doing some service, and you have some exchange, a little more deeper exchange. That is dasya. But still very deep reverence is that there is some distance, that's some distance. And then of course, anyway, we don't want to talk about these rasas now, that's not the point so much, although they are important to understand. And then there is Sakya, friendship, that's very close. What did I say last time? When we come, I don't even know where I spoke this. Maybe it was when you come to the spiritual world, how does Krishna greet you, depending on your rasa with him? You know? Really? Okay, follow.
First, he will hug you.
First, he will hug you. Hug whom? In which rasa? That is which rasa? That's not first rasa. That comes third one. What is the first one? Huh? That is described by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Madhurya Kadambini. When one is in particular rasa, you can understand in which rasa that person is when Krishna greets you in the spiritual world. Okay, Gaurav, remember? What is the first one?
So the first is where he will touch you.
He'll touch you by what?
By
By finger. It's like this, Oh, electricity.
hand.
No, not really. Shankha. Shankha or something. He'll not touch you directly.
Oh, Shank, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like Druvamar. He won't touch you directly. He'll touch you with something else. But still, you will receive electric shock, of self-realization, and you'll fall in complete ecstasy, and you'll be in complete bliss according to that position. Huh? Okay, then second what? Then we'll do what? Yes.
That is Dasya touching.
Okay, second, yes, when you're in service, Dasya Mudan, he'll touch you. He'll touch you. He's like, like Hanuman. Hanuman is in Dasya Bhav. Hanuman is Dasya Bhav. And then Sakya Bhav. And then what he'll do in Sakya? He says, Shiva now, Bolo. Huh? He will hug you. Yes, he will hug you. Okay. And then in Vatsalya? Yes?
Prabhuji,
Okay, maybe we went too far now, but anyway, maybe we should not discuss this. This is like, it's getting too intimate.
you said Madhurya.
No, I didn't come to that yet. Anyway, okay.
Vatsalya.
Vatsalya, yeah.
Krishna will keep his stick on shoulder,
No,
face.
face. Krishna will kiss you in the face.
And so Madhurya.
No nonsense. This
Yes.
is Vatsalya. Madhurya we won't discuss now. Madhurya becomes more intimate. Anyway, so the point is these are different relationships. And when one is in this kind of, just mood of awe and reverence, yeah, Krishna is great, but that, it's kind of it creates a distance. It creates a distance. You can't approach that person really. It's like if you have a lot of awe and reverence towards someone. I don't know, just imagine someone you have a lot of awe and reverence towards. Who is that person? Everybody can have someone. You can imagine someone. Huh? Whom do you have a lot of awe and reverence? A lot of respect, like you really respect them, they're like really something special. Huh? That's a complete overstatement or overthinking like this. That's not true. You wouldn't be doing such nonsense if that would be the case. Anyway. Huh? Just think of someone. Maybe who? Prime Minister or someone? No, you don't have any respect. Anyway, I guess you would. Just imagine that entourage and so many people, walking around and, you would have, or somebody, some high commissioner, I don't know what, I'm just somebody, you would have some awe and reverence. It would be natural. You wouldn't go and run and shake someone's hand or hug him or something. Somebody whom you have a lot of awe and reverence, you wouldn't be doing this, no? You would be very respectful. And actually you would be, what it means also, it's mixed with a feeling of fear. Because if you don't act appropriately, then you might get punished also. That's all in reverence. So you would definitely, there would be a lot of distance between you and that person, but you would admire some kind of opulence of power, fame, whatever it might be there. But that creates a distance. That creates a distance that you don't have access to that person. That's what is the problem with that relationship. I mean, some people like it. That's their natural position. So then it's fine for them. But somebody who is in higher rasa, that creates a big problem. They can't stand it. Just imagine you are very friendly and intimate with someone, and then you, just because they suddenly become very important person or something, and then you can't approach them. Would you like that? No way. You'd feel like this is really odd and strange. This is like this is described in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Gopa Kumar, he's from Govardhan, and he plays with Gopal and this and everything, and he has his cows and whatever. Anyway, and then he comes to Vaikuntha, and there is Narayan, and then he wants to run and embrace him, and everybody just grabs him and starts saying, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" He said, my Gopal is there sitting on the throne. It's like, what is this? Don't take this pastime so seriously that Krishna performed. And be reverential, behave properly, Behave yourself. This is the Lord. Bow down, offer obeisances, offer prayers, these things. And he's like shocked. He was not happy. He was not happy. And then later on again he came, and then in an intimate setting, then Lord Narayan embraced him. Then he was somewhat pacified, but still he wasn't happy. He didn't like the mood of the place. And then then what was interesting, it said in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, he said that then he was reminded by the Lord himself. He said, "You chant my glories, chant my names." That's very interesting. Chant my names. What are we doing now? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. And he told him, by chanting my names, what will happen? You will be promoted to higher realms and higher, more intimate positions in relationship to me. We are already doing that. Just see, we've been given a process that directly leads us to such an intimate relationship with Krishna. And then he chanted, then he went to Ayodhya, and then from Ayodhya Dwarka, and from Dwarka to Vrindavan. Chanting the holy names. Everything is given. That's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's what he came. He gave us the highest, the most intimate, the most exalted process. How to reach Krishna. And that's why last time we were discussing, there is difference. There is difference between Vishnu, there is difference between Ram, there is difference between Krishna. I mean, of course, there is and there isn't. They're all one and the same person, but it's different in the mood you approach them. That's how then they respond. There is that difference. So depending on how do we chant and with which mood we chant, that's that kind of position we are aspiring for, and that's what we want to be. That's what hopefully we will attain. We chant properly, practice properly, steadily. So that's right, that conception of majesty, it's the most prevalent conception. If you see nowadays world's religion, yes, God is great, but there is a distance. There's a great distance. God is great, and even if we worship Him and admire Him, it's quite a lot mixed with some kind of fear that if we don't do it, then something will happen to us or whatever. It's not such an attractive mood. It's not such an attractive relationship. Of course, many times people don't know better, so then that's the best they practice and follow. But that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, and presented something that's far greater in the sense of being very close to Krishna. But when it's so intimate, we can't even imagine when Krishna is fully giving himself to his devotee. We can't even imagine that. Then you can do with God whatever you want. What an amazing qualification that requires. Somebody who is so powerful, so famous, so everything's superlative, everything amazing, absolutely whatever, and then you can do with God whatever you want. That he surrenders to because of love of devotee, he just becomes a play toy practically of his devotee. That's what Krishna does. We can't imagine. But that's why, because Krishna has so much trust and faith in his devotee. And so much love. That's the point. That's the intimate relationship. That's the intimate relationship. Like I gave that story of Sahasra, what was that? Karna in previous life, remember? Sahasra what? Bahu, whatever. Yeah. So when he wanted to conquer Brahma and give in charity the whole universe and everything, Brahma said, well, that's crazy. He has no idea what to do with it. If he would have been doing this, then the whole universe will perish practically. Just to give in charity. That's not a goal, just to give something in charity. We have to know what to do with it. So if you would possess Krishna, what would you do with Krishna? We are not qualified. That's right. We are taught. And who is teaching us? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching us. How do you deal with Krishna? He's teaching us. You want to have intimate relationship with Krishna, but then you have to know what to do with it. You have to qualify. You have to understand what he likes. You have to understand what he doesn't like. Like you're dealing with anybody else, any ordinary relationship. You deal with people in a way they don't appreciate. Will that relationship last? No way. You have to understand Sambandha. That's called Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana. You want some goal, you want some result of some intimacy or whatever exchange, but then you have to know how to act upon it, and you have to know the relationship. You have to understand the positions. Unless you know all of those, it's going to be a chaos. It's not going to work. You have to understand this is the person is like this and like that. He likes or doesn't like this and that. This is his position or her position, whatever it is, and you have to act appropriately. That's then Abhideya. And then when you act like this, then this is the result. This is what you can expect. And then relationship deepens and expands. And then again you act upon it. Then you get greater result again. And it's just ever expanding. This is spiritual life. Of course, even materially it works. If you act properly, selflessly. And of course, which you won't find today. That's the difference. That's the difference. But in spiritual world, that's how it works. So you have to know how to deal with Krishna. And who is Krishna? Who are you? What's your position? What's his position? How do you relate? And then how to get the greatest bliss and ananda that's available. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to teach us. That's what he came to present. And that's so rare, that's so intimate, that's so precious. And now we may wonder, why did he come and present it? We are so fallen, we are so insignificant, so unqualified. Why did he come and present it? What's the answer to this? What's the answer to this? Think a little bit. We are so unqualified. Just imagine, Satya Yuga, people were so qualified. Within one lifetime, they would achieve perfection, go back home where they belong. Treta Yuga, even how much more qualified people were. Dvapara, okay, somewhere in between here, but mostly, again, so much more far qualified than we are. They could even have Krishna as they could even see Krishna. But in this age, how fallen we are, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and presents this highest mellow of devotional service. Based on what? Based on what? What did we deserve that? How did we deserve that? How does that work? Somebody who is the least qualified gets the topmost thing. How is it possible? What does that mean? Think a little bit. Do you have any answer to it? Why would Krishna do that? Of course, 3 reasons we said already. He has his 3 internal reasons to do it. Because he himself wants to understand the position of Srimati Radharani. So that we said. Okay, external reasons, he comes to propagate the Sankirtan movement so that we can qualify and have that experience. But again, why? Why he does that? Why this age? He could have done it in some other age when people would be, reciprocating much better. Why he does that? Think a little bit. Some of you might have some idea at least.
Because in Kali everybody is going to be away from Krishna, away from Bhakti.
Okay, in Kali Yuga, everybody's going to be away from Krishna and Bhakti. But then why is giving the highest? He could have given something less than that. No? He could have given some other process. Just, like before, there were some other processes.
Because this is, in Kali Yuga, everybody is very busy. So taking out time is difficult. So thinking that the easiest thing that you can do, chanting, which you can do,
That's
while
true.
doing other things.
That's true. We are so unfortunate and busy. At least we make ourselves busy with so many things. And he has given us the most powerful process. Yes, that's one of the reasons. He gives us the most powerful process. But again, why would he give us the most intimate knowledge about Krishna's position? Why again the most intimate? Why Madhurya Rasa? He would have given us chant also Om Namo Narayana Namaha or something, chant some other mantras. He would have given this. And actually he does that. In other Kali Yugas, only in this Kali Yuga, once a day of Brahma. Can you imagine how rare it is? You have no idea. Once in a day of Brahma, he presents this process and this teaching. Once a day of Brahma. How much is that? Once a day of Brahma? That's 1,000 times, Okay.
1,000 times of Chaturya.
So that comes to how many millions of years? Calculate that.
4,000.
4,000. No, that's wrong.
No,
More than that.
Yes.
1,000 times Chatur Yuga. So that means one yuga. Okay, one second. One yuga, it's 430. So double that, plus that once, and plus that twice. That's how many million? Huh? No, okay, let's get serious now. So 432,000 times 2, so that's 864, and plus again 4,032. That comes what? 1 million what?
8,640 million years.
Huh? Plus again I said 432.
12,96,000.
Okay, and plus again one more time for that.
6 lakhs, 17 lakhs, 32.
Okay, so that time, 1,000 times that much. 1,000 times that. Just add 3 zeros to that. Then it comes how much?
Crores of years.
But how many crores? Huh?
17 billion.
17 billion. It's a billion. Trillion. He said trillion. So,
Billion is 1,000.
anyway, whatever it is. So can you imagine that for 10,000 years only, within so many billions of years, you get this chance. And you're having it right now. It's not a joke. It's a very serious thing. So why? Why us? And we are so, it's just incredible. We look at ourselves. We don't even have to look at the mirror. We just think about ourselves. Who are we? What is our position? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is coming. He's giving us this incredible process to achieve such kind of intimacy with Krishna. And we are so whatever objective we could use, so foolish. We have no idea what incredible process we have been given. And we are not serious about it. You miss it out, you missed it out. It's a big question. It's not in this day of Brahma you're going to receive it again. So many billions and trillions of years, you're not going to get it. You miss it out now, you're not going to get it. Not this process. Maybe you can go to Vaikuntha, that you can get. That opportunity you will get. Maybe you'll get some liberation, you get something, but not what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give. Not that intimacy with Krishna. You can play with Krishna, and you can possess Krishna practically. You can really dance with Krishna. Whatever, you won't get that. There will be distance. You may be in some association, something, but not that intimacy. So this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give. Can you imagine how rare and incredible that is? And we are wasting time. What we're doing, watching cricket, India, Pakistan, or now, I don't know what the nonsense you're doing. We are wasting so much time. We think this is so important. We have no idea what we are missing. You can play cricket with Krishna better. Anyway, watching, who knows what we're watching on internet and this and that, wasting time. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us such an incredible, we can't imagine, when we read, we can read this Chaitanya Charitamrita, read the Antya Lila. Now we are discussing philosophical part to understand first of all who Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Then when we come till the end of this book, which is so many volumes, you read and understand and whatever, but at the end, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displays those ecstatic symptoms, maddening ecstatic symptoms. That spiritual madness of love of Krishna, what happens? You don't even know what it is. That's an ecstasy. People nowadays, they take some ecstasy. Anyway, in the West, you go to some party or some concerts or this and that. They take some pills and some drugs and this and that. They think we want some ecstasy. Ridiculous. It's complete nonsense. So harmful. So anyway, but people want some ecstasy, but you have no idea what is ecstasy of spiritual practice. You can't achieve that kind of madness, that kind of cessation, that kind of experience. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us this, and we have no idea what we are dealing with. We have no idea how the most blissful experience that is. So then why we? Again, I'm asking the same question. Why us? Why we have that opportunity? How come we came to this temple and we came to know a little bit something about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna and this and that? And why us? What could be the answer? What is the answer? Yes.
You mean us as the devotees?
Yes.
It's because
Or even
God-
if we are not devotees, but still, whoever now comes, okay, yes, devotees, because
God chose us. He chose us.
well, we don't know what he chose us. But he chose it's available to everyone, but why few also, they
Have the
respond.
access.
But even we responded, but still as I said, we are not serious. So then, but why still us? Yes.
Because of
Right.
previous life,
Previous life what? What you did in previous life? Okay.
By the mercy of Vaishnavas and Lord.
By the mercy of someone else, maybe, but that mercy is available to everyone. Then why still us? Yes. And then how come? Again, my point is, okay, let's say we got some mercy, but then why we are not serious? Why we don't really just completely, fully give ourselves to this? Instead, we have so many reservations. We do practice a little bit and say, oh, once a week it's too much to come to temple. Then to do something else the rest of the time. I go for a bus party and then then I have to have a little break from spiritual practice or something. How foolish we are! It's like why we are doing this, And how come we are missing it out? We just don't understand what we are gaining. Okay, Gaurav, you have the chance.
We see there is a rich class, middle class, and poor class. So normally we feel merciful towards the poor class, and also Krishna might be feeling that these people are not coming to me. He might be feeling that why they are not making relationship with me. And
No, that's not right. It's a good try, but that's not really.
Because Krishna gives the intelligence to come.
Krishna gives intelligence, but Krishna can give intelligence to everyone. No? But people don't want. People don't want. But then why us? I also didn't want. Somewhere or other, yes, I came in touch with it. And I had no idea, neither I have any desire about spiritual life. I entered church maybe twice for some. Anyway, I won't tell you which reasons. When I was a teenager, I had no inclination towards spiritual life. So then why? How come? you know. Okay,
Because
Frank. Well,
because we are the most fallen and
we are the most
but
fallen.
we still ask some questions.
No, we are most fallen.
Curiosity.
Everybody's most fallen. That's why everybody in this age of Kali is most fallen.
That's why
That's why. Yeah, but still, how many are here and how many are out there? No?
curiosity.
Curiosity is not good enough. Okay, prapya punyam kitam loka ushitva shashwati sama shuchinam shimatam gehe yoga brashtu vijayate. There is something, who said that? Previous life? Raju said it, yeah. So kind of like this. We do have some credibility, we do have some samskaras, we do have some punya. We do have something. If you wouldn't have, even Prabhupada said to devotees in the West, you had some pious incarnations of piety, that's why you have taken to this process. But of course, Prabhupada also says it's by my credit that you have awakened to that process, otherwise you wouldn't be able to do so. So it's also it's both ways. It is a mercy of a devotee. By the mercy of a devotee, he can affect and invoke someone's dormant love of Krishna. That is definitely very important. And of course, we also must be having some sukriti, something from the previous existence. That's definitely there. That's definitely there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to respond to this process. I mean, I just read one book. I just said, "Whoa, that's it." Out of nowhere, So where does that come from? It doesn't come from nowhere. It just must be something. Anyway, I won't discuss about myself. It's just somewhere that was the first thing that I thought. Now that's always the first thing you think about yourself. But there must be something. Otherwise, you wouldn't be responding to it. You always left off where you always start from where you left off. That's how spiritual life works. You always start where you left off. So we must have left it somewhere. But again, the question is, we might have some pious credits, but again, this is the most intimate. How come this particular process? How come this particular process? I mean, time is running, and we have to conclude. But so I'll conclude. I'll just. It must be something that what is stated that this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, one who comes in this Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, that means that originally we belong to two possible rasas in relationship to Krishna. One is Sakhya and another is Madhurya. So that's why Krishna inspires us from within the heart to get in touch, or inspires devotee to connect us in some ways to this process. So somehow or other, even though it's Kali Yuga, even though we are whatever it is, so unqualified, this and that, but must be something that's where we really originally belong, to that part of the spiritual world. So then we come in this kind of process and try to revive that relationship that we have with Krishna. So either our original position in spiritual world is in Madhurya Rasa, which you said is just incredibly intimate and close, or it's Sakhya, which is also amazingly pretty rare in comparison to this awe and majesty that in general most of the people have. So something to most likely to some our credit, which is so dormant and so covered now that we have no idea about it. That's the reason. Anyway, think about it. Again, as I said, this just verse, it's so deep. It's so deep to understand how that awe and reverence towards God and His opulences creates a distance between the living being and Him. And that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't like. He didn't like it. God is tired. And just imagine everybody comes and bows down to you and offers you puja and worship and this and that. I feel that's boring. You want to have some closer relation. You want to have some friendship. You want to open your mind. You want to disclose your thoughts. You want to have something intimate. It was so boring and dull, everybody just, oh, you're so great. Oh, pranam, this and that. No, what kind of life would that be? You go mad. And you can't talk to him. You can't say, you can't open your mind. You can't do anything intimate. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't like that either. You want something closer. But we have to qualify. Anyway, we'll continue with this verse next time. Time is up. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments? Okay, otherwise we'll discuss after. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.